have any viewers yet. Starting in 1 second though. We'll go ahead and get started. Hello, everyone. My name is Christine Rogers, and I'm here from the Detroit Promise. And we have with us Christina Johnson and Kanisha Williams, two college advisors. And then we also have a special guest here, Rachel. And we're here to talk to you all and give you all some updates and announcements about things that are happening around college and career, but also to talk about your passion and your purpose. So how do you understand what your passion and your purpose is and how to connect that to your career and other interests? So we can go ahead and get started with the announcements. So we're going to have Rachel talk to you all about a great opportunity that is available on the DCAN, Detroit College Access Network.
Thank you, Christine. Hello, everyone. My name is Rachel Diallo. I am the Office and Events Associate for Detroit College Access Network. And we have a lot of upcoming events for seniors who are planning on going to college in the fall. So from starting in April, we have several events with colleges that are meant to be kind of a high school to college handoff. So you'll get everything you need to know from them at these events. So we have Grand Valley, Oakland, Wayne State, Henry Ford, Schoolcraft, Wayne County Community College, and Oakland Community College will all be hosting these events. And obviously the dates range. So you can see, I don't know, I can't see the screen share or anything, but you can see all of the dates are next to the events, and then each college will just help you walk you through the next steps to fully enroll. And if you haven't been, oh, thanks, Christine. If you haven't been accepted to any of those colleges on the screen, that's okay. We still have a couple other kickoff celebrations. We have a kickoff celebration that'll just go over what to expect in college and understanding your financial aid award letters. And then we'll have a closing celebration that we'll just talk about mental health awareness. And then any student who actually attends their event will receive a free swag box with a lot of goodies sent to your door. So the registration, I'll just maybe just drop it in the comments when I get off, but the registration will be at detroitcan.org/seniors, and you can see the full schedule of events and register there. So yeah, that's it.
Okay, great. Thank you, Rachel.
Thank you so much.
No problem. So for any of you all that wasn't able to hear that, these are events centered around students who have been admitted to these schools and graduating seniors. So you will attend these events and you will be able to hear about next steps for enrollment. So for those of you who didn't hear, that was Grand Valley State University, Oakland University, Wayne State University, Henry Ford College, Schoolcraft College, Wayne County Community College, and Oakland Community College. So if you have been accepted into those schools, please RSVP for those events. Okay. Another event that we want you all to know about is the Spring Bazaar. So this event is hosted by DCAN and the College Ambassadors program that they have. So this is an event for students to de-stress. COVID has been a stressful time for everyone. So as a part of ending off the school year and starting spring, they put together this event to just really calm down, chill, and like I said, de-stress. So this event is April 25th. And it's from 2 to 7 p.m. and it's free. There'll be food trucks, DJs, game trucks, vendors, performances, and more. And I'll drop the link to this in the chat. But this is open to students. De-stress after the long year that we've had. We do have a question. University of Michigan Dearborn isn't, oh, they're asking about the Detroit Promise. University of Michigan Dearborn is a part of the Detroit Promise, if you are interested. Okay. And moving on in our announcements, we also want to let you all know about a scholarship opportunity for young women. It is due March 31st. It's called the Sanvid Young Leader Scholarship. In this scholarship, you must have a 3.5 GPA. You must be registered and take advantage of the Detroit Promise. You must also be eligible for the full or partial Pell Grant and then be accepted into a 4-year Michigan-based university. So I repeat, the Sanvid Young Leader Scholarship due March 31st. This is a scholarship opportunity for people who identify as a woman. Okay. And I'll drop the link to that in the chat. Well, can actually, Kanisha or Christina, can you drop the link to that in the comments for me, please? Thank you. And then also another opportunity available for seniors over the summer who are planning on pursuing a career interested in computer science. Google Computer Science has a summer institute. The deadline for that program is March 29th. And the link will get dropped for that in the chat also. Any information about the scholarship can be found on their page. Okay, the next thing that we want to let you all know is that Detroit Promise registration is still open. Colleges are still accepting applications, so please apply to schools who still have open applications and where you can use the Detroit Promise if you are not registered for the Detroit Promise already. If you have registered for the Detroit Promise, start to think about what schools you're planning on attending, narrowing down that list because we're going to be rolling out the commitment form, and that's the form that you will sign when to solidify your scholarship, to determine what school you're going to go to, and then from that point your school will take your commitment, the information you filled out in Detroit Promise, and create your financial aid package from there. But that commitment form is very important because that's that next step in the Detroit Promise registration. So making sure that you know what school that you are going to attend and you've been accepted into that school, because you cannot fill out the commitment form if you have not actually been accepted into that school and you do not have a student ID. So it's very important to start making those decisions, applying to those schools, getting those accepted letters, and getting that college ID. So when you fill out that commitment form, you have that information available. Any questions about the commitment form, you can drop it in the chat. No, there's probably some of you there that have registered for the Detroit Promise and are wondering still what the next steps are. We can answer those questions along the way still here. Okay, and then for those of you who have not filled out the FAFSA and are eligible for the FAFSA, please submit that. It is due June 30th. You still are able to fill that out. The deadline has not passed for federal funding, so please fill out the FAFSA by June 30th if you have not done so. Okay. And the links are in those chats. Okay, so following up, we would now like to talk to you all, if you don't have any questions about any of the announcements that were made, we'd like to talk to you all about passion and purpose. So thinking about what is your passion, what is your purpose, how does that connect to what major you're going to pick, how does that connect to what jobs you might potentially have in the future. So first, we want to start off just by talking about what is your purpose. So your purpose can help guide your life decisions. It can influence your behavior. It can shape goals. It can offer a sense of direction. It can really create meaning when trying to figure out what major are you going to pick, what career are you interested into. If you don't have a purpose, sometimes it can be hard to continue to do something. It can make you less interested in it. You don't have to have your purpose, completely figured out, but just having a purpose overall can help guide you through your decisions. So when thinking about your purpose, you're thinking about a couple of different things. Who am I? Where do I belong? How do I feel fulfilled in life? Those are a couple of things that you think about. So I want to give a moment for our college advisors to kind of talk about their experience and their experience they have with college advising around helping students, but also with themselves navigating how to find your passion, how to find your purpose, and how that relates to your career and to what major you ultimately choose.
Okay, I can start. Hi, everybody. My name is Kenesha Williams. I'm a college advisor. So I've worked with students a lot. With a lot of students just don't know. They know they want to go to college, but they aren't really sure what they want to do with their life. And just because you pick it right now doesn't mean that that's what you have to stick with. A lot of times, that's what I struggled with before going to college. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to go to college, but besides that, it was just I knew I had to go to college. So I ended up being a pre-vet student, and then I started getting internship opportunities with pre-vet um, uh, organizations, and I realized, okay, I actually don't like any of this. So when you pick something, remember it's okay to change. I didn't end up changing my major, but I was able to really, I'm so sorry. I was able to realize that this isn't what I want to do, and I'm going to go for my master's degree to actually change that. So don't think that you're stuck just because you say as a senior this is what you want to do.
Hey, hey everyone, my name is Christina, and I'm a college advisor for the Detroit College Access Network. So, the way in which I help out students, not quite to find their purpose, but instead just start with trying to help them find out what they're good at and what they like, is by, like, I have group college advising sessions twice a week, which everyone here is invited to. And I'd like to start out with a reflection question at the beginning of every workshop, in which I Google questions like, what are your proudest accomplishments? Or what are your strongest interests that you have? So it's really valuable to just sit down with yourself and reflect on those types of questions to yourself when you're alone and you're in a quiet place, so that you can really reflect on who you are as a person and what your personal purpose may be. Personally, when I was you all's age, like a high school senior or a college student, I just knew that part of what my purpose was, like, it constantly changes with the more I learn and the more interests I develop. But when I was a teenager, at least a senior in high school, that was when Black Lives Matter was becoming a major movement. And we had so many different things happening, like Trayvon Martin's case and other incidences like that. So that really made me dive into Black history, what it meant to explore my own identity as a Black person. So that's why I went to college and earned a bachelor's in anthropology and Black history. So that's just one example of how it happens. However, now that I'm getting into my 20s, it's not so much history focused anymore. I just want a job in which I can constantly learn and help others find information. So your purpose changes as you grow up and go through time, and that's a good thing. That's what you want, because growth and change is something that you should go ahead and embrace. So that's just my personal experience with it.
Right. So when I'm thinking about passion and I'm thinking about my purpose, I'm thinking about one on the passion side, what feelings do I have towards something? What feelings are invoked when I do a certain job, I participate in a certain activity. And then when I'm thinking about my purpose, I'm thinking about what is the reason behind why I'm doing that. And those things are usually tied together. So the purpose you're doing, the reason behind why you're doing something is usually tied to that feeling, that passion that you have behind whatever major you choose or what job you choose. So it's important when thinking about what major and what job, what is really going to drive you? What's the reason behind why you're doing this? And sometimes why students don't persist to school is because of sometimes financial barriers and things happening at home. But sometimes it's not really understanding what that passion and that purpose is. Why are you on that campus? What am I doing here? How is this going to lead to what I'm doing in the future? So for me personally, when I was thinking about my passion, I was thinking about the fact that I love helping people. I love learning. I love advocating for others. I love dealing with issues around inequity. Those are things that I knew about myself from a very, very young age. Like in elementary school, those are things I was interested in. So as I got older, I had to put myself in positions to be able to explore those passions, explore those interests that I had, and connect that to a purpose. So outside of just knowing that, it's about how do you actually do something with that? Why does it matter? So when thinking about your purpose again, I joined certain activities. So I joined the debate team. The debate team was very important for me. I knew, like I said, I love learning, I love education, I love, educating other people, dealing with things that had to do about inequity. That was a great activity for me. So thinking about what activity can allow you to explore, to build on certain skills that you naturally have, that you naturally want to build on. So even if it's something around sports, if you're passionate around sports and you feel like your purpose is to be an athlete, how intentional are you being about putting yourself on that pathway? What activities can you participate in just outside of even just playing at your high school? How can you build on those skill sets? If you're interested in being an engineer, what are you doing outside of you just taking your regular classes? Are you taking summer programs in which you can explore that career field or explore that major? So certain things like that, that can tie you to your passion and your purpose. And that naturally just came up as I was speaking about it, but that is the next topic that we're moving into. So you heard a couple examples about, how we thought about our passion and purpose with a couple of tools you can think about. And going back to those questions that we spoke at the beginning, who am I? Who are you? What represents you? What skills do you have? What do you bring to the table? Taking those things and building on it. But the way that you can do that is by some of the things that we're going to talk about. Now have Kanisha or Christina bring in that next topic.
Yeah, so when you're looking to like how do you ever find out your passion? Some people, they know, they grew up like Christine was talking about, she knew she loved education, she knew these things. Some people just don't have a clue, or you just haven't been put in the experience to know what it is. It's always in you, but sometimes you just have to get that experience to know that this is what you want to do. So something that you can look into are career aptitude tests. So sometimes your school counselors will give these out. Sometimes you can find them free online. And they just have you answer a few questions, and it just really tells you what you might be good at. So this is a really good way to start. This may not be your complete passion, but it really gives you a start to see like what you might be good at. Another thing that students look into are internships and jobs. So if you have free time, internships are really good for students because it really, you can be with a professional in a career that you love, and you can shadow and learn valuable skills. Even if you decide this isn't the career that you want to go in, you learn transferable skills. So getting internships will kind of put you in the place to know, could I see myself doing this long term, or I don't really like it. I mean, that's what happened with me. I was at a vet clinic and I was like, this is not for me. So
That's crazy because I literally had the same experience. I thought I wanted to be a veterinarian. I internshiped at a vet clinic in high school, and I was like, "Yeah, no, I can't do that." Like, I'm not about
in
that
high
life.
school, but I ended up spending 5 years at Michigan State, and then I realized that I actually really love helping people in a different way. So I did not become a vet. So that internship was super helpful for Christine and me. And Christine, did you have any experience doing internships or working in or in high school?
Yep, right here. Yeah, so I did work in high school. The most consistent job I had while in high school was working at Wayne State for the math core program. So I was a math tutor throughout high school for middle school students. And it was a very rewarding experience. It really helped me grow as a person. And and it partly led me to where I am today. But in other ways, I know that I don't want to be a math teacher, but it was to help students learn math, however, just to see another person grow and for you to also grow with them, because it's just a relation, because when you're helping to teach, it's really a relationship in which you get more than you give to the other person, you feel like, because you're helping them find knowledge and you're also finding your own through them. And another experience I had with internships was in college. I internshiped at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History. So that internship taught me that I think the major takeaway was that I still wanted to work in history, but it actually showed me the careers that were available there, because you may have an interest, but you don't have any idea what careers actually come out of your interest. So by working at the museum, I learned that there are historical researchers, there are museum curators, there are people that run museums financially, like fundraising, and so many different careers you can get out of this one common interest that all people have at a particular organization. And also nonprofit work, things like that. Just so many different opportunities that we don't grow up hearing. We only hear about doctor, lawyer, engineer. And it's just this whole, like, every job that you see someone do has a name and it has a purpose. And it's just knowing what opportunities, what options are out there.
Yes, most definitely. So even if you just are generally interested in a field, just being able to work within that field in general is great experience. You get to see how other parts, are connected to the job that you are particularly interested in. You don't have to jump directly right into what you think you even want to do. Like Kanisha was saying, that experience is just important. Those are transferable skills no matter what you're doing. Even if you're working at McDonald's, if you're like a fast food place or working at a grocery store, those are all important skills that you can use and that you can transfer to other job opportunities to help you keep building on your passion, keep building on your purpose, and help you actually get there. There are always going to be like different steps in between that you take to reach your passion and your purpose, and that job that special job or even that major that you want to choose. You might have to sometimes navigate certain, different pathways, not always a straight shoot. But either way that you go, you still make the most out of those experiences. You keep building on that until you reach your goal. But yeah, those were some great, great, great points that you all brought up. So another way that you can build on those skills that if there's a job opportunity available or internship opportunity available that is connected to what you want to do, you should definitely explore those opportunities. And one way that you can do that is to grow Detroit young. Sorry, talking fast. Grow Detroit Young Talent. That is a program that's available to students who are residents of Detroit from ages 14 to 24. They do job placement. So what they do is they connect students to job opportunities. You get paid for these opportunities. It's a great way to build some skills, to get that first job experience so that you're constantly building on that resume to get to where you want to go. Another example of a search engine that you can use is internship.com. Very simple. Internships.com. You can find internships there for different career fields. You can filter it out for different things that you're interested in, different majors. Another resource for the seniors that are online who are actually going to go into school, you have resources on campus. So going to your career center is going to be a great resource for helping you understand how to tie your passion and your purpose to career opportunities. They are there to help you. So really make sure you're taking advantage of that. And then also they have different platforms that you use. For example, there's something called Handshake. It's a platform that students use to find jobs and different internships. Once they're actually enrolled in the school, you have to see what school that you're attending, what platform they use. But Handshake is an example of one of those platforms where it's tied to the school that you're going to, and they have job and internship opportunities available. More resources in which you can find internship and job opportunities is going to the City of Detroit website or the government website. They have internship opportunities for students all the time in summer jobs and things like that. So going to the government and city council website and seeing what internship opportunities they have. Kanisha and Christina, you have anything to add?
Definitely. I'm really glad that Christine brought up the state of Michigan and the internships that are available there. They don't only have internships, they also have volunteer opportunities. So, for example, the Michigan Department of Natural Resources, they have internships and volunteer opportunities for high school students. So, what the Department of Natural Resources is, they are the state run organization that monitors or protects the Great Lakes, the animals that live in the state of Michigan, the forests, just all of the natural wildlife in our state's natural resources that we have. They monitor, protect those. So if you may want to be a veterinarian one day that works with wild animals, or you want to be a wildlife specialist, protect wildlife, or be a park ranger here in the state, that's a really good resource to go for.
Right. Another way that you can use to get more information about careers that you're interested in, or even majors that you want to pursue that ties to whatever career path that you're interested in, is job shadowing. So sometimes it's hard to get an internship, or you might not even have the time to do a full internship. Reaching out to companies, reaching out to people in the positions that you want to be in, and asking like, hey, can I shadow you for a day, see what you do in your job, learn more about. People love when people ask them about what work they're doing. Like, people love to talk about their jobs if they're, if they like their job. But even people who don't like their job still, appreciate students and young people that, are trying to learn more about different career opportunities and different things like that. And that's a great way to just network, hitting up somebody that you know, or you don't have to know them. And that's the thing too about the way that networking works, and the way that the careers work, is that you can sometimes just reach out to somebody and then they are willing to have a conversation with you about the job that they do, or about, what they majored in, how they got to where they are now. Even stop, I'm not telling you to stop random people on the street, but I don't know if this has happened to you before, where you just meet a random person, you end up finding out that they do like something very interesting, like they have this cool job or something like that, or that they travel to a certain place, or something like that. Either way, reaching out to people who just, what is that? Oh, that's coming from my side. Just reaching out to people who have interesting lives that you want to live, or certain career fields or in positions that you want to be in. Ask them, like, what type of work do you do? Do you mind having a conversation and doing something that are called informational interviews? So this is just when you ask, someone in a position that you want to be in, what type of you ask them questions about the work that they do. How did you get here? What did you study? What did you major in? What was your pathway like? And asking them about their job and expressing interest in the work that they do. And sometimes those conversations can lead to internship and job opportunities. You never ask for a job opportunity or internship when you have these meetings and when you do the informational interviews. But what you do is you gain information, you create that, you establish that relationship. You let this person know that you're interested in the work that they are doing. And then you never know, they can be like, well, if you're interested in what I'm doing, I know they have this opportunity at X, Y, and Z. And, it's just creating those pathways for you to get and do what you are interested in. Sometimes it's not always about, going on Indeed or going to a search engine and finding those through a list. Sometimes it's about, you literally using your voice, using what doing some research and finding those people and finding those opportunities, and sometimes creating them for yourself. Sometimes you have to create those spaces and those pathways. So those are just some tips and a little blurb that I had about, how even just outside of internships and job opportunities, how job shadowing can be very, very, very important. And it's less taxing, in terms of time commitment. So if that's something that you are interested in, and those are not paid, those are free. So you have to be willing to commit your time to exploring your interests, but definitely reaching out to somebody, who is in the position that you want to be in, and just ask them a couple questions. And then saying, if you have time, can you meet? Can you have coffee or something like that? And I'm speaking to the college students that are online, high schoolers. You definitely want to have an adult be a liaison to help you set up that conversation. But for the college students who are on the line, when you get to that college campus, you're meeting all of these people, you see professors who are in certain career fields, or you hear someone talking about an opportunity, schedule a one-on-one with them, meet with them, ask for their email address, even if you don't feel comfortable going right off the bat and saying, do you have time to meet? I was so interested in what you said, or I'm so interested in the work that you do, and I really would like to meet and discuss that. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, definitely ask, can I, do you mind if I email you? I have a couple of follow-up questions about something I read online about the work that you do. Any way that you feel comfortable doing it, it's just important to make that connection, because it can really keep you tapped into your passion and to your purpose if you really find those people that are in those positions that you want to be in.
And I'd like to add to what Christine just said. So if you're a college student, if you haven't already done so, you should really consider getting some business cards made for yourself. It is so easy now to do business cards through Staples. I know, for example, because you can actually buy perforated cardstock and have your information on it, like your email address, phone number, professional email address, and your name. And as you meet people, you network with them, like Christine said. You ask to shadow them, ask them how they got to their position. So for them to maintain contact with you, just give them your business card, and it makes you look really professional and that you're serious about networking and asking for help to build up yourself professionally.
Yes, and I would just like to reiterate that business cards are the truth. Like they're really a step up. Like she said, it makes you look so much more professional. It looks like you're taking the time to do those little things that matter to, put you in certain positions and for you to network with people. And it's so easy to just hand off your business card than trying to pull out your phone and say, let me type this down, or pull out a sheet of paper. You have a pen. You don't have to do all those things. Because also most people will have business card also. So you can ask them for their business card if you need their information. And it's just a great way to network. And at my school, I went to U of M in Ann Arbor. We were actually given free business cards. So if you filled out this form that they send out through your email, that's also a thing, you have to check your email to take advantage of opportunities. So for the students who filled out the form or the email, we all got business cards that said University of Michigan on it. It had our name, email address, whatever information we wanted on there. And it was a great resource that you can use. So sometimes it doesn't even cost, but they also have business cards that you get made for under $10. So it doesn't have to be anything that's taxing. It can be even cheaper if you decide to create the format on the computer yourself and just go get it printed out. Either way, definitely having business cards is a great way to network. Okay. And then adding to that, community service and volunteering. Christina talked about a couple of volunteering opportunities through the state, but there are also other opportunities for you to do community service and for you to volunteer if a company that you're interested in is having a community service event or doing something like that, asking, can I volunteer? Can I help out? Like I said, putting yourself in those positions to do the things that you want to do. Is another way, community service, another way. Now we've been talking a lot. Are there any questions or anything? If you have any questions, please drop them in the chat. If there's any questions about anything that we have that we talked about so far. And the last thing that I just want to end off with in terms of like, how do you, find activities and things that are connected to your passion and to your interest? Another thing is student organizations. I can't stress to you how many student organizations on campuses, like there's so many covering a wide variety of topics, some things you would never imagine, like a squirrel watching club at on my campus. And also I forgot what the Harry Potter, whatever that game is in Harry Potter, where they have like the sticks,
the Quidditch team.
Quidditch, yes, they have a Quidditch team. They had a Quidditch team, and I'm not. If that's what you're passionate about, Quidditch and Harry Potter, then go for it. But there are so many different. That's what I'm saying. There's so many different things on campus that you can take advantage of if you are interested in a certain career field. And they sometimes have organizations that's focused for people that want to be lawyers, people that want to be doctors, nurses, or whatever. There's probably a student organization for it. Students who are interested in certain sports, certain cooking, extracurricular activities. If you're interested in cooking, there are cooking clubs on campus. So there are a lot of different things on campus that you can do, debate teams, mock trial teams, different things. Frats and sororities. If service is a thing that you're interested in, there are certain frats and sororities that are all about community service and that commitment. You can definitely join a frat or sorority that is community service based. But definitely using your campus as a resource for you to explore your passion and your purpose. Like you said, you don't have to have it figured out. That major doesn't have to be the end, you don't have to even have that figured out. You can literally go to campus your freshman year, and literally say, this is all about exploring my passion, my interest, and figuring it out that freshman year. So taking advantage of those summer opportunities, taking advantage of what classes that you can pick, and really taking that time to dibble and dabble in different things, saying, yeah, I like this, no, I don't like that. And those informational interviews can really be a game changer. Ask people in the positions that you want to be in, what does their job actually look like? You would think that a person's job is one thing, especially because we use media a lot to figure out what certain jobs we're interested in. And then you actually ask them and they're like, no, I do paperwork majority of the day. That's a glamorized version of what my job actually is. So actually asking people, what do you do on a day-to-day? What does your day-to-day schedule look like? How can you manage your work? How do you manage your work life and your personal life? Does it allow for you to have a good balance between the two? Because sometimes people don't understand that your job is gonna, pull more hours out of you than what you thought. So those things are very helpful in determining what do you actually want to do in the future. Is this actually what I'm passionate about? Like me and Kanisha were saying, interned at a veterinary clinic, and we knew that that's not what we were as passionate about as we thought. Maybe how can I take that and maybe turn it into something else? Because at the root, there was a need to help, that drove me at least to it. And I love animals, but it's like, how can I take that to, maybe a different place? Okay. So closing remarks. Okay, Nisha and Christina, what are some little pieces of knowledge you want to leave people with?
So we do have a question from India. It's a
Okay.
good question too that everyone here could benefit from. How do you find the best college for yourself? So if I were you, the first thing I would do is decide, whether do I want to stay here in my home state or do I want to go to college out of state? What kind of major are you considering? And also, do you want to start at a 2-year college, at a community college, or at a 4-year institution? I think that the best place to start, if I were a college student trying to figure out what college I would like to go to, is to really first think about what I would like to get out of my college experience. Like, do I want to go to a university that's very academically rigorous and it's a bigger university or a smaller university? So you have a lot of choices. So where I think that India can start is by going to the DCAN website and using the match and fit tool that's there. So I'm going to go ahead and link it in the comments. So with the match and fit tool, you put in your grade point average and your your GPA and a test score if you have one. And it gives you colleges based off of academically where you would match. But of course, you take it a step further. Don't listen to the computer because not always right. And actually research the college options that it gives you. And then start thinking about, oh, well, this college sounds interesting. Let me Google them, see where they're located. How big is their student body? Do they have the majors I would want to pursue? So I'm going to link the DCAN website match and fit tool here for her. But thank you for your question.
Yes, and just to add to that, when Christina was speaking, what I kind of heard is, your purpose. Why do you want to go to college? What do you want to get out of that experience? So identifying that can really help you pick what college you want to go to, and knowing your major. So what is your purpose? What are you passionate about? And does that school offer your major? Does it allow you to have the opportunities and put you in the positions to be able to do whatever you're going to do in the future? And that's so important. So just in getting accepted into a school and you matching academically with that school is so important, but making sure that it can give you access to the major, career opportunities, the social opportunities that you want to have. Those are things that are so important when choosing a school. So make sure that if you can speak to somebody who went there, ask them some questions about the campus, what opportunities are available, speaking to someone in the career center, great things that you can do to help you make a decision on the school.
I also want to plug our one-on-one student advising. You can speak with Christina or me, and we can help you work through all of those things. So we can sit down with you and help you make a list and put pros and cons on that list to really figure out what college would be the best fit for you.
Yes. And is the link for that? Did we drop the link for the one-on-one advising in here?
I don't think so. I'll make sure that put that in there.
I can drop it. I think I have it here. I'm just want to show the link for if you go to DCAN's website / student support, you can find more information about a lot of additional resources. So they have the one-on-one advising. So if you want to have a one-on-one session with Kanisha or Christina, really unpack some of the college going process with them, then we have that on there. And then Christina does the group advising session. So if you want to be in a group session and get some help, then that's available too. And then also there's some previous webinars that are listed on there, and then you can sign up for student newsletter, scholarship list. We have some checklists on there that can help the seniors get through the enrollment process. So definitely check out the DCAN's website. So that's detroitcan.org/student support, and you can find additional resources there. But also going to detroitpromise.com. If you go to detroitpromise.com and you go to our resource page, I'll put the website up. Then you can also find resources there about webinars, upcoming events, additional resources that are available to students. Okay, any more questions?
Yeah, here's the group advising link for today at 4:45. It's through Google Meet. So if you would like to show up, here's the link. And I also put in the Deacon College Match tool. And this is a list of colleges from Deacon's website that are in the state of Michigan, so that you can go and you click on the button for the school that interests you and you can get information about them.
Okay, and then we also have a question from a student about, what was it, University of Detroit Mercy? Yes, University of Detroit Mercy. So you're asking, the school is test option. So you're saying the admissions is test optional for University of Detroit Mercy. So are you eligible for the Detroit Promise without an SAT score? So you have to look at our Am I Eligible page for the Detroit Promise and go to University of Detroit Mercy. And they also are their test optional too for us. So that means that you have the option whether or not you're going to submit a test score. And just in general about how you think about the Detroit Promise requirements in your school is that the school has admission requirements. So admission requirements for their test scores and for GPAs, and then Detroit Promise requirements are separate. So in case you were looking at any other schools, I just want to clarify that if a school's admissions is test optional or test neutral, that doesn't mean it's the same thing for Detroit Promise. You have to look through the Detroit Promise list that is on our website and see what the actual SAT score requirement is for Detroit Promise. But in this case, if I was understanding what you said correctly, that University of Detroit Mercy is test optional in terms of admission, but they also are test optional in terms of Detroit Promise requirements. So you do not have to submit your test score if you did not take it or you do not feel comfortable with your SAT score. I will say if you feel like you did a great job on the SAT, definitely submit those scores. It doesn't hurt you. But if you do not want to submit them, you do not have to. Okay, thank you for your question, Simone. And also want to let you all know that we'll be raffling off gift cards for those of you who registered and attended. So thank you all for attending. We really appreciate it. Let other people know that we'll be going live every single Monday covering different college topics, here to answer your questions. The questions don't have to be related to the topic. You know, we're here for you. This space is open for you to ask your questions, even though we will be speaking on particular things, but we're always available to you all. Like we said, fill out that one-on-one advising or join the group advising if you want some more in-depth help on anything. But thank you all for joining. If there's no more questions, we're going to go. Bye-bye.